This is Bruce Boudreau, and it's time for Clay's Canucks commentary live. Let's go with Clay right now.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I am Canuck Clay Emo, and this is my Canucks take all in one take for Thursday night, July the 6th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Hey everyone, thanks for being here. Trying an hour earlier tonight just to see what it's like. I usually do 11 p.m. Then I was wondering why I do it so late, and I remember I do it so late because during the season it gives me a chance to get home from either a game or from bowling or from church or from a work event or from a social event or whatever. And to fill that kind of 11 p.m. niche, that slot that I'm sure so many people want. But it's summer. There's not a lot going on. I'm in the middle of studying. And so I thought tonight I would try 10 p.m. and we'll see how it goes. If it's big, awesome. If it's small, that's fine too. And then maybe we'll play it by ear for the rest of the month. A month that I have to cut short because I'm going to Peru. But enough about that. The usual, I will go for the first half. I'll turn it over to you for the second half. And we'll have a nice little 40-minute show or so tonight. So, first off, moderators, thank you for being here. Do what you need to do. Members, that's legends, Hall of Fame and franchise members, thanks for your support as always. And to everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, if you're in my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston and Richmond, in the city, Lower Mainland, province, country, continent, or around the world, thank you for being here. You know that I know that you could be doing anything else, watching anyone else, getting ready for work, school, or bed, or all three. But the fact that you are here, I always appreciate you, and I never, ever take you for granted. So, here's what you can do. Subscribe so you can get active in the chat section and so you get my videos every single day. Like the video. There are 30 of you in here already waiting for me. Thank you. The 30 of you in here, but only 6 likes. So like the video. Let's bump that up a little bit. You can, right on cue, do what Lucas did, the legend himself, and you can leave me a donation. So thank you, Lucas, for getting the donation train out of the station. Always appreciate the legend and your presence. The future of the Canucks appears bright. Can confirm. I was at the development camp scrimmage. Like, sub, member, and whatever. I like the whatever. Stay chill and hydrated all. Thank you, Lucas, for the donation. Thank you for the constant support and for the message. And yes, you were at the development camp, and I hope that it went well. I'm going to talk a bit about that in a few minutes. So you can leave a donation like Lucas just did. Let's give him some love in the chat. You can also gift a membership, which is the same as a $5 donation. And then someone gets free franchise membership for a month. You can also become a member yourself. You can upgrade your own membership. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review as well. And hello, everyone in the chat. I know a lot of people are saying hi. I know it's funny. On StreamYard, which is my streaming platform, I can see every message. And then on YouTube, which I have going here and here, I can see that people deleted messages. So Ricky, I'm not sure why you deleted it, but you're saying one thing needs to be done. The legendary Canuck Clay needs to join Threads. I'll say this about Threads real quick. I'm not one to jump on new social media fads, and my kids don't allow me to have Snapchat. I have a TikTok, but I don't even use it. I just have it to watch other people's stuff once in a while. But for Threads is interesting because I do a lot on Twitter. I'm not crazy about Twitter, but I do a lot on Twitter. I have noticed it's changed a lot since Elon Musk took it over. I use Instagram, so I'm comfortable with the Meta, the company. But if I do Threads, I'm actually going to do it for non-Canuck stuff. So if I do Threads, I actually wouldn't go Canuck Clay. I do more, connect it more to my Instagram and do more family and faith and ministry type stuff. At the risk, we'll see. I'll be kicking myself in the foot. No, how do you kick yourself in the foot? I guess you could. I'll be kicking myself in the butt. How's that? If Threads blows up and everyone and all these content creators, especially Canucks, have massive accounts and I'm kind of left in the dark. But I'm willing to take that chance, not because I'm lazy, but I don't need to add something else to my portfolio right now. And if you guys want to do that for yourself, that's fine. But even if I do, I've been thinking about this a little bit. I don't think I'd do it for Canuck Clay. I would actually do it for ministry and speaking opportunities. So just something for myself. Facebook is kind of a end all and like put everything out there. I'm still quite active on there. Instagram, I put some Canuck stuff up there, but only pictures and videos. Native videos and stories. I don't do a lot of actual content creation, Canucks content creation for Instagram. That's more for my own personal stuff. If you want to follow me there, you can. It's just my full name, Clayton Emo. You can see it at the top of the. Oh no, you can't see it at the top of the screen because it's covered up by. Oh yeah, because there's nothing to do with Canucks. Yeah, but if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can. I'll put the thing here. But that's what I mean. And then for Twitter, I used to have two Twitter accounts, one for Canucks and one for personal stuff. But now it's I only use. Whoops, I messed it up. Actually, if you click on it, does it work? Oh yeah, that other that last slash or whatever doesn't make a difference. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, there you're welcome to. But just be aware that it's. You're not going to get much Canucks content aside from a few pictures on there. Usually that's more for family, faith, and ministry. And then, of course, YouTube's mostly Canucks. Twitter's mostly Canucks. So all to say, YouTube and Twitter are Canucks. Instagram, and if I do Threads, that'll be more family, faith, and ministry. You're welcome to follow me there. And then Facebook is kind of an end-all, not an end-all and be-all, more of a mashup of sorts. I can't believe I just wasted 3 minutes talking about that. Not wasted, but it's just kind of interesting. I am aware of Threads. I'm aware that a lot of people are going on there, which is fine. I don't feel left out. I don't have any FOMO. I'm emo. I'm not FOMO. I'm not Clay FOMO. I'm Clay emo. So we will see what happens there. Okay, enough about that. Let's talk about, how did I get on that tangent? Let's talk about the Canucks a little bit. And I know Lucas and many others were at the development camp. I've seen highlights. I've read a lot. I've read a lot of analysis from professionals that were there, such as, well, actually only read Thomas Drance. I read some stuff from Jeff Patterson, Canucks Army, so on and so forth. Development camp's interesting because it happens right after the draft. So we got the Tom Willander there, which is pretty cool. Like some of our picks from this year were there. So that's already really cool right away. You got to remember, a lot of these guys haven't played hockey in not only weeks, but months. If their college season ended, or if their pro season ended, or their junior season ended, a lot of them haven't played in a while. So to me, the development camp is less about the scrimmage, although, of course, that's what fans get excited about because you get to see how these guys actually do against each other on the boards and battles, dekes, shots, all face-offs, all those things. So, of course, and if I think if I was in town, I probably would have gone to that development camp scrimmage, but I was at a camp all day. I was at my own camp, my work camp, not Canucks training camp or development camp. So I get the allure of a scrimmage. I like scrimmages better. It's way more fun than watching drills. But I would also say that the development camp itself is more about getting these players comfortable with Canucks culture, getting them working with coaches and development coaches. Like, can you imagine like a Tom Willander coming out of Sweden, getting drafted, and then 1 week later on the ice with the Sedins, two of his idols? That's pretty cool. So for the players themselves, it's a mix of college players, free agents, not even drafted by the Canucks, they get invited, and Canucks prospects, so on and so forth. So for them, it's a chance to learn about the culture of the Canucks, learn about, get to know some of their coaches, systems, philosophies, bonding, grouse grind, all that kind of stuff. And the scrimmage is really secondary, but the scrimmage is the most appealing thing for fans. But I do get excited of the prospects of Elias Pettersson, Tom Willander pairing down the road, an all Swedish pairing. I believe they were paired up last night. So I do get excited seeing Hirose battle against guys that are a couple years younger than him, and maybe it just shows that Hirose is that much further ahead, and ready to challenge for a roster spot. I'm excited to see what a guy like Jonathan Lekkeramki can do. Apparently, he was going crazy yesterday, like a lot of shooting attempts. Maybe not the most creative player in that he doesn't pass a lot. That's the one thing that Thomas Strand says is that Lekkeramki basically had the most shot attempts because every time he got the puck, he would skate in the middle and shoot. So there's that. He said Willander looked good. He looked good more during the week, maybe not so much during the scrimmage, but showed enough flashes during the scrimmage where you can see how good of a skater he is. Thomas Rance also talked about how the defenseman Elias Pettersson was really dominant yesterday. Not only good skater, but assertive, good at clearing the zone, good at skating the puck out of the zone. So the guys that we wanted to do well, or the guys that we at least hopefully do well, it sounds like they did. Like they impressed. And I'm not talking about the guys that have been stuck in Abbotsford for a while, but I'm talking about guys that we've barely seen. So the Villanders, of course, and the Lekkeramkis and the Elias Pettersson defensemen. Also, a player that got a lot of love yesterday was Finnish defenseman Joni Jormo. He was our 3rd round pick back in 2020. And he's big. He's a tall guy, but he also skates very well. And I heard that from people, and I saw that as well in some of the highlights. So all to say, we don't get too caught up in who won the scrimmage. We don't get caught up. One scrimmage is not going to make or break a player. And people shouldn't be, just because Willander had one turnover or maybe didn't have the strongest scrimmage, you're not going to sit here and say, oh, I wish we took, well, you can say whatever you want, but I'm not sitting here and saying, oh, I wish we took Zach Benson. That just proves it. No, you guys know that I was fine with the Willander pick from the very start. So, but for me, it's something like seeing or reading about Pettersson and Willander playing on the same pairing. That could very well be a second pairing for the Canucks down the road. And that stuff like that really, really excites me. Okay. I see a lot of you guys talking about different social medias, which is fine. I see you guys talking to each other, which is great. And I think with the end of this development camp, what's going to be interesting is now there could be a lack of Canucks news for a little bit, because the draft has happened, free agencies happen. That doesn't mean the Canucks aren't done wheeling and dealing, but they're basically capped out now. So if they want to make more moves, they're going to have to move money out. So that's something to... By the way, am I like the only 49-year-old man who still drinks juice boxes? And I don't know about you. Do you guys remember? Now they're only 200 mils. Do you guys remember when they were 250 mils? So they're 25% bigger and they're way wider. They used to not be so skinny. Or am I dating myself? Not dating myself, like taking myself on a date, but am I aging myself? Or does anyone else remember when these juice boxes used to be 25% bigger? And like I said, am I the only 49-year-old? Yeah, Taylor's making fun of me. Ha. Yeah, laugh away. No. Am I the only 49-year-old man that you see drinks a juice box? And if so, I'm fine with it. Sunripe is my favorite juice. All right, me and you, Harry. Next time we hang out, we just drink a bunch of juice boxes. So let's get back on topic. So the Canucks will have to move money if they want to make a few additions still. So I don't think Patrick Allvin is done tinkering. Last thing I want to say, and then I'm going to turn it over to you, is about Elias Pettersson, the one that's actually on our team. Our superstar center who had 102 points. He's entering year number 6, which is the last year of his second 3-year contract. So I want to back up a lot of talk about juice boxes. That's awesome. That's so funny. I want to quickly talk about Elias Pettersson. And for those of you that don't understand how contracts work, or how the nature contracts work when it comes to years, I want to take a few minutes to explain this to you, because I think it's really, and by the way, Trevor, I'm going to get to it. I think Matt Scaris, I like him a lot, but he does try and stir stuff up. I'm not at all worried that Pettersson hasn't signed here yet. And I'll talk about that in a second. So a typical player like Hughes, and I can use Hughes and Pettersson as examples, because they're really good examples. A typical player, there are a few exceptions, but typically after a player gets drafted, and again, there are exceptions depending on age, but after a player gets drafted, you have control over them for 7 years, the first 7 years of their pro career. And almost every single entry-level contract is 3 years. And there's not a lot of flexibility. You can do bonuses, but really, most entry-level contracts are about $800,000, $900,000 a year. So let's use Pettersson and Hughes as examples. Pettersson got drafted in 2017, didn't play his first game until September 2018. Hughes got drafted in 2018, didn't play his first game until October 2019. Well, technically the end of the 2018 season, but you know what I mean. He didn't burn his first year of his contract till 2019. So both Pettersson and Hughes had 3-year contracts to start off. So boom, 3 years and 3 years. And because, 3 years and 3 years. And because Hughes actually started at the end of the 2018-19 season, the same season that Pettersson played a whole season, they actually, and that quote, burned a year of Hughes, then they were actually, that's why they're done their first contracts at the exact same time. So Pettersson and Hughes, they both finish off their first 3-year contracts called their ELC. Super Soccer. That's awesome, Ricky. Entry-level contracts. So remember I said that a team, you can control, you have the rights to your player for the first 7 years in most cases. So follow this math then. After a player finishes his first 3-year contract, he's an RFA, a restricted free agent. The worst thing you can do is then for the second contract, sign a guy to 4-year contract, because his ELC, 3 years plus his new 4-year contract, 3 plus 4 equals 7. That means at the end of that second contract, he will be an unrestricted free agent already because he's used up his 7 years. So that 7-year number is so important. So that's why with Petey and Hughes it was quite fascinating. Remember, they were both up for new contracts the exact same summer, 2 summers ago. Pettersson signed a second 3-year contract. So 3 years in his first one, 3 years in his second one. So this year coming up in this fall will be his last year. It'll be year number 3 of his second contract, or you could say his 6th year with the Canucks. I'll get back to that. Whereas Hughes, instead of signing a 3-year contract there, actually signed a 5-year contract, which means at the end of that contract, that'll be 8 years with the Canucks. So technically, at the end of Hughes's next contract in 3 years from now, he'll be an unrestricted free agent. Yeah, that might scare you. That I say, oh shoot, are we going to lose him after? Sorry, 4 more years still. 4 more years. Because did he sign a 6-year contract or 5-year contract? I guess it was a 6-year contract. Now that I think about it. Yeah. So, is that right? Yeah, Hughes signed a 6-year contract. Excuse me. So it was 3 years, and then 6 years for Hughes. So at the end of 4 more seasons, Hughes would have played 9 years for us, and he's a unrestricted free agent. But hopefully the Canucks are really good after those 4 years, and he'll want to stay, and he's going to make way more than $7.85 million, which is fine. It was 6 years, thanks. But with Pettersson, we still have control over him. Remember, after the season, he's only played 6 seasons. So the worst thing we can do is sign him for 1 more year, and then we potentially lose him after not this season, but next season. The best thing would be to sign him for 7 or 8 years. So that means after this year, we'll have him for another 7 or 8 years. So why is everyone freaking out by this extension? Or why? Because as of July 1, 5 days ago, you can negotiate with Pettersson to give him a new contract that's going to kick in at the end of the season. Because remember, for this season, he's still under contract for $7.3 million. It's the last year of his second 3-year contract. So in a perfect world, anytime between now and July the 1st of next year, we want to hear 7 or 8 years for Petey, $10 to $11 million, whatever it is. What we don't want to hear is 1-year contract, and that's all he's going to sign, because that means he basically wants to bolt after his 7th season. And what we definitely don't want to hear is do the Matthew Tkachuk, trade me now, because I'm telling you, I am not going to sign past my 7th year here. So that's why Calgary decided to trade Matthew Tkachuk. Instead of letting him play out his 7th year, they trade him and at least get some assets for him. So I just wanted to lay that out, just the math and why there's urgency, but there's not urgency. So something that Trevor said in the chat that I heard is Matthew Sakaris was really, really drilling like some people, and especially Rick Dollywall, who talked to Pettersson's agent. So Pettersson's agent said, we're in no rush. Pettersson likes it in Vancouver. He's not frustrated by the losing. He wants to build a winner here. He likes the city, and we've been busy with the draft and free agency. We're gonna start talking contract later in the summer. But Matt Sakaris kind of pressed the panic button. It was like, oh, does that mean PD wants out? Oh, don't you want to get it done right now? And then Rick Dollywall was kind of telling him, no, calm down. The agent said that PD is happy here and that there's no rush on this extension. They technically, like I said, they have all year up until July the 1st of next year to negotiate a new contract. And what you want to hear is that's, for 7 or 8 years. So obviously we don't want to leave it that long. The longer it goes, the more nervous we're going to be. But I think it could happen in September. I think it could happen in October. It doesn't have to happen right now in the first week of July. Okay. I hope that makes sense. I guess the last thing I'll say before I turn over to you, but the longer you wait though, the more of a gamble you're taking. Because imagine if PD has another 100-point season, 105, 110-point season. Imagine he wins like a major awards or a finalist for the Selkie or whatever. You think you can get him for 10.5, 11 million now? That could be 11.5 or $12 million. On the flip side, which I don't think is going to happen, I don't want it to happen, Pettersson could have a really bad year, a 70-point season, 80-point season compared to 102, and then you could probably get him at a lesser amount, but no one really wants that. The cap's going to go up. We want to pay PD, and we want him to do very well. I hope that all makes sense to all of you. That's my way of saying I'm not worried that he doesn't have an extension yet, but I'm sure it's going to be a talking point for a long, long time, all season until it actually happens. Shout out to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, Perform and Transform, Personal Training, Weight Loss, and to also Gassy Jack Art, making this fine artwork, Monkey 9 Brewing, my eternal sponsor, and Vessi Footwear. Use the URL, tinyurl.com/VessiClay and receive a free pair of socks with your next purchase of Vessies. Always appreciate them. Mid-show reminder for you to subscribe, to like the video, to leave a donation like Lucas did, to upgrade your membership, become a member, or gift a membership, which is the same as a $5 donation. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. You can also become a member, upgrade your membership as well. But most importantly, get active in the chat section. So I talked about development camp. I talked about Elias Pettersson's extension that hasn't happened yet, but I explained in my eyes why it's not a big concern. Whatever you want to talk about, it can be Canucks hockey related, but it's got to be hockey related. Let's do that for 10 or 15 minutes and see how we do. I will try and answer as many questions as I can. Peter says, okay, let's start with this. Jaskrin says, this will go on all summer. I won't believe an extension is taking place until Friedman or Dollywall report it. Yeah, we've kind of talked about those are the two strongest insiders. PD has elevated himself as the franchise player, the superstar, if he wants to win, which he does. Do whatever it takes to give him what he wants. The important thing is to make the stars happy. Peter, I agree with that. We have a franchise centerman here right now. I'm suggesting this. Can we explore creating a new intro for these live streams come the 2023-4 season? Nothing against Bruce, but let bygones be bygones. I wouldn't agree with let bygones be bygones. I wouldn't use that terminology for this. And you can explore a new intro, but I'm not going to because I like it and it's my show. And I got Bruce to do it and I love it. I love it until I can find another coach, another player to do it. I think I'm going to keep it. But I appreciate the suggestion as always. But I like it. I like it. Yeah, and Peter says Bruce should stay in the intro. Trevor says I like it. Lucas thinks I think we need to move on. All good. I don't get defensive. I like it when you guys are engaged. I like it when you make suggestions. But ultimately, I guess with any suggestion, good or bad, or whether I like it or dislike it, I have the final call. And right now, I still think it flows nice. And I like Bruce Boudreau. And I think by having it in there, it's not like I'm pining for him to return. I'm just saying it's kind of cool that I got Bruce Boudreau introducing me. Harry says, hey, Clay, how are you? When do you think Josh Bloom will make the roster? I think he's still a year or two away. Yeah, I think he's still a year or two away. And I'm fine with that considering he's only, how old is he right now? He is, I'm trying to find it. He's only 20 years old. So I'm fine if he's still a year or two away. But I certainly don't think he's going to be a contender to make the club this year. Would I compare PD's play style more to the Sedins or Naslin or Olin? If you're talking about the center PD, definitely not Olin, because Olin was a rugged, good skating, but rugged defenseman. I would compare him most. Yeah, Naslund had a good wrist shot, but he was a winger. I think naturally he's closest to Henrik because they play the same position. And I think Petey's passing is very good. Daniel was more the sniper. Oh, that's good. I think maybe I'm caught up on the positional thing, Fangirl. So I'm going to go Henrik. I'm not sure where this comes from. I believe Petey will get married in Man City. Okay. Taylor, Petey signs an extension. I'll see 3 notifications from Sportsnet, TSN, and the NHL app about it. So, Taylor, are you saying that's good or bad? Absolutely need Lekkeramki to have a good season coming up. Had a better development camp than last year. Yes, and he seems to have gotten the message that we're kind of counting on him. I love the Bruce intro, even if he's gone. I feel like Bruce exemplifies Clay well with his positivity. Thanks, Justin. Yeah, no, that's cool. I think with the Bruce one, yeah, I just really like him. I really do. And that's a really good point about matching kind of the vibe of my show. But I don't disagree with Lucas from a standpoint of eventually that is going to get a little bit tired, a little bit old. But I'm okay with it for now. But yeah, I do have to evolve eventually for sure. And I have no problem with that kind of suggestion for sure. PD won't be like Eichel. He'll be here to carry this franchise. He'll be here to help this team win a cup. I could see that. Thoughts on OEL signing with the Panthers? Do you think he will play better there? I hope he doesn't become like Canuck killer. No, I'm not worried about him being a Canuck killer. If Montour and Ekblad are going to be out to start the season, they need some veteran, and he's making $2.25 million. That's fine because he's still getting 2/3 of his money from us. I think he'll be fine, but especially if he doesn't have to play top 2 pairing roles. If he's the 3rd pairing guy at 2.25, that's fine. What chance of Sandin maybe becoming a Canuck? He's still very young, just wondering is all. Yeah, Sandin. Are you talking about Rasmus Sandin? What is his contract right now? I'm looking him up on Cap Friendly. Rasmus Sandin, 23-year-old in Washington Capitals, left defense, and he still has 1 more year in his contract at $1.4 million, and he'll still be a UFA after that because it's only year number 6. Yeah, I honestly don't know enough about him aside from hearing his name. I know he played for Toronto before Washington, right? Yeah, I haven't really thought about that, Murray. I'd have to give that some thought. Andy says, yeah, I get where Lucas is coming from. That's cool. Jason says, let's go with Clay. If you had to predict one will be traded, who would it be? Myers, Garland, or Bouvillier? Tyler Myers. Put the Usos in the intro. It's not paranoia. It's not paranoia. It's Clay's Canucks commentary. I'm seeing the Canucks having a great season and making it to playoffs. Go Canucks, go! Love it, Shannon. Love it. Lucas intro isn't the problem. I think everyone is still caught up in the way he got let go, which is understandable. But I think the intro should say, no, that's cool. All good. Made it home from Shannon's awesome. Do you think the Canucks will trade Tyler Myers either this year or next year? Well, they won't trade him next year, Harry, because he'll be gone. His contract ends this year. So I do think they'll trade him. Even if they trade him at the deadline for a draft pick, at least it's better than nothing. Welcome, Tyler. If the IIHF suggested for a universal rink size based on NHL size, could it make the transition for European players to jump to the NHL and speed up the development process? Yes. If it was a standardized rink size across the world, I do think it would make the switch for European players easier because then, yeah, everyone's playing on the same surface as opposed to a bigger surface in Europe. But I also don't see IIHF doing that. I just don't. Then you're reconfiguring a bunch of rinks as well, which I guess isn't the end of the world, but there will be a cost to it. Indiana Jones movie, very good, awesome. I did see that Vigneault is retiring. He was great. He was probably my favorite coach that the Canucks have had. Whose play style was most like Naslund last season on the Canucks? I don't know if there's a comparative because a leader, captain, playmaker, could be a sniper. Yeah, I don't know, Fangirl. I don't know if there's an equivalent to Naslund, quite frankly. What was it like watching the Canadiens in their rookie years? And did you predict it back then they'd become the players? No, I didn't predict that they'd become as good as they did, but I also wasn't harder than when they started because we had guys like the West Coast Express to insulate them. I love the Bruce intro. We should not have fired Bruce. Yeah, it was tough, but he was kind of losing the room. Like the magic, the Bruce magic kind of wore off. How satisfied with the signings the Canucks made at the draft? The draft, it was okay. I like the Villander pick. The rest of the picks were just okay. So I'll give the draft a B-. I'll give the free agency a B+. And I'm glad that your grandma is better. That's awesome. PD is like Daniel because he can shoot and pass. That's good. That's fair. Did I hear the McCann? Oh, yes, Justin. I was going to mention that. Did I hear the McCann comments about the Canucks in his time in Vancouver? He feels the Canucks gave up on him too early and affected Jared a lot. He was a dark place. It's sad to hear that he was a tough place, and I do agree that we gave up on him too much. I don't know why we rushed for Tannen and McCann in that year. Yeah, great point. Bruce was a decent coach, but things didn't go well when the team didn't listen as well. With additions that the Canucks signed during free agency, do you think the Canucks will make it top 3 in the standings? No, I do not think they're a top 3 Pacific team, even though that's what I predicted for them this season. I do think they can fight for a wild card 4th spot, though. Do you hear the Canucks were interested in Travis Sanheim for the Flyers? Would he be a good fit? Defenseman, right? Would he be a good fit? What side does he play? Left D? What's his contract? Ugh. No thanks. 6.25. No thank you. Wow, that's a big... What? He signed an 8-year contract in October? That's crazy. No thank you. Too much. Too much. No, all good, Lucas. I'm really glad that you can make good suggestions, and all your suggestions are always very thoughtful. It's all good. It's all good. If for some reason they have to let go of Tocchet, do you see them bring Vigneault back? No. I think Vigneault's done. Is it me or the Canucks prospects always get stuck during the grouse grind during major heat wave? I never thought about that, but if it's been warm here the last few years, then that would, I guess, intuitively, that would make sense. The 3 notifications is a good thing, but sometimes it drives me crazy because the NHL app reports on it last. It's always TSN or Sportsnet first. Yeah, I think NHL app, I think the NHL app, they also vet it because they don't want to screw up. Not that TSN and Sportsnet want to screw up, but a lot of those guys, the insiders, they can just kind of tweet with impunity. And if they make a mistake, they make a mistake. But that's the risk. They want to be the first ones to get word out. Great point, Taylor. I thought development camp was very good. Willander is an eye-opener. Awesome. Could I see Myers getting traded by the deadline? Yes, absolutely yes. Here's the plan. LV needs to trade Myers for Fox or Sider. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Do you think Sider will be just as good than Makar? No, I don't think Sider's going to be better than Makar, but we're also not going to get Fox, Sider, or Makar because those are, just like we wouldn't want to give up Hughes. You can fit an NHL size in a European rink. It's been done with the Global Series. That would make sense. Can you ask Alvin on what is strategy to get PD? Alvin, what's your strategy to get PD to extension? Would you use your shiny head to brighten PD? And pardon? Why is Peter so obsessed with my... I don't know why Peter is so obsessed with your shiny head. Yeah, he didn't answer, Peter. Sorry. So the Canucks training camp that I get to see for free is not like development camp. That's correct, Shannon. All the players that were here are draft picks, prospects, free agents. The training camp you'll see in September will be the, quote, real players and all the Abbotsford Canucks players and a couple of these rookies as well, or prospects. If the Canucks had an average goaltending this past season, they would have made the playoffs. Added size of defense and healthy Demko and Hronek, they'll make the playoffs. That's the plan. We love McCann. I'm sorry for what he went through. Opening day lineup versus Edmonton. Demko with C-Laws backing him up. Hughes, Cole, Susi, Hronek, Hirose, Myers up on D. PD, Kuzmenko, Mikheyev, Miller, Besser, Beauvillier, Garland, Bluger, DiGiuseppe, Aman, Joshua, and one of Podkolzin or Hoglander. I think the Canucks make the playoffs, but way too early to tell. I love the optimism too. This year could be all in playoffs for the Canucks. Do you think management will dump all the older assets? Yeah, I think Jeremy, they're on their way, and there's a plan. The reason why I didn't mind what Alvin did in free agency, at least there's a plan. Black skates on opening night. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. With the 9-game homestand we have next season, biggest homestand we've ever had. I don't know if it's the biggest, but it's going to be very important for sure. Will it be weird that Bluger will be wearing Horvat's number? Is that for sure? Or did they just put his old number up on the website? I don't know. It'll be weird for sure, but it's not like Horvat's number got retired or anything. Do you think the Leafs will be a tough team with Domi and Bertuzzi? Yep. I think though. I think I didn't like what they did on Saturday free agency. I do like those two signings for sure. Yeah, Peter, I just did the lineup, so hopefully you heard that answer. Will Bruce ever coach again? I don't think so. I think he's too old. Is it fair to say that Demko, Martin, Vancouver, and Seelovs and one of the other goalies in Atmosphere? Nope, I don't think it's fair to say, because I think Seelovs will be given a shot to take the backup job. Does Jeremy Lowen because Canucks future enforcer? Not sure, Chris, what you're asking there. Yeah, Peter's good though. Peter, like, I know he likes to have fun with Patrick Alvin in my closet, which I still don't know how that started, but Peter's good. He only asked me to ask Patrick one question a stream, which is nice. It's not like he keeps asking me to ask him. Who's handling negotiations with PD? Well, his agent's JP Barry, and I'm sure it's Emily Castonguay. If we need to move Myers, we'll move by the deadline. It's getting a 3rd or 4th round pick. Better than nothing. Absolutely. You're right on. Training camp will be fun to watch. Young Guns tourney. Good point. Good point, Ted. Canucks will win home opener. I sure hope so. Can't wait to see Canucks training camp in September. Yes, that's awesome, Shannon. And we'll get to a game somehow. Canucks need to start off hot because they will need a 9-game homestand. Yeah, hopefully they're still in the playoff race in March. Will I be taking the training camp this September? No, I won't be. And see what Ian Cole, Blueger, and Susie play. No, I'll wait till I see them in a real jersey, like an actual jersey. Win-loss, what would be? I would love it if they came out of there 6-3-1. I don't think the Canucks are done. Something's got to give. Too much of a logjam. I agree with that, Ricky. Kopitar, 2 years at 7 per. Kings have their top 3 centers locked up for the next 3 years. Would I rather have Kopitar, Dubois, and Deneau, or Petey, Miller, Blueger? I would take the LA guys only because Deneau is so much better than Blueger. Yes, Travis Green is in New Jersey. The Alvin closet stuff happened when Alvin barely spoke to the media. And you guys were joking that he was in my closet? Is Castonguay good at negotiating? Yeah, I think so. Because she's the player agent, Jaskaran. So she gets it. She gets the game. She can play the game. So let's move to 5 minutes of Ask Me Anything to wrap up. We can phase out some hockey questions because I know you're probably typing them as I say this. So let's phase out a Canucks questions and go to non-hockey related questions. Ask me anything for the last 5 minutes. Do I think home opener tickets for the Canucks will be decent price or expensive? They'll be expensive because it's home opener and because it's the Oilers. It'll be categorized as a premium game for sure. Dubois overpaid in LA. Winnipeg did very well. I agree with that, Lucas. I take the Canucks centers over LA. Miller and Petey better than Kopitar and Dubois. That's fair. Yeah, I Kopitar only because he's getting older. Mickey, light shade. Because he doesn't have a lot of fur, I don't think he gets very warm. Like, he's never panting or anything. So even in the heat, he's inside and just sleeping. He's just so lazy. The laziest dog. Sushi today. Yes, I did, Edmund. I got treated a late birthday lunch, so I did have sushi today. Thank you, Lucas, for asking. Camp was beautiful. It was Camp Jubilee up Indian Arm. Beautiful day. So it's funny. It's a 5-day camp, Monday to Friday for teenagers. And our leadership team, our counselors go up on Sunday. So on Sunday, I went to Kate's Park to see them off. On Monday, I went to the Kate's Park to see off all the participants. Wednesday, I went to camp itself for the day. And then Friday, tomorrow morning, I have to go to the camp, Kate's Park, to receive all the campers back. So technically, I'm at the dock 4 out of 6 days this week. And when the weather's this beautiful, I don't mind it at all. Yeah, I did something great. I went on Van Base today. I got 3 hockey shirts. Nice. Which ones did you get, Shannon? That's awesome. Daily routine when there's no hockey on. Oh, that's a good question. So typically, I'll get up half an hour before I go to work. I'll work. I'll study. One thing I've changed, instead of studying after these streams, which is crazy, it's too late. I've been studying after work in my office for an hour and a half before I come home. Then I'll make sure I get some exercise in, whether it's a workout or going for a walk or playing softball or going bowling, and then try and get some family time in as well. So Harry, I wouldn't say it's a set. I don't have a set regimented schedule, not because I'm the busiest guy in the world, but I have a lot going on, and I just make sure that I get things done before I go to bed. And if I can sneak a nap in there too, I will. Good question. Peanut butter or chocolate chip? Got to go chocolate chip. I've done the grouse grind once, and I was not fast. Justin, I'll do this one real quick. I think I mentioned this on another stream. I don't think Gibson wants out. He may have said to someone that he would love to play for a winner, but that probably got translated to I'll never play for Anaheim again. So I won't go through the whole thing because I explained it once on another stream, but the truth is always somewhere in the middle. Summer, Ricky. Summer, of course. The Tridium is part of the Clay Tridium is the first day of summer. So Father's Day, first day of summer, my birthday. Summer, summer, all day, every day. With all the sushi you consume, how do you remain trim and fit? Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm not very trim. I'm pretty fit, but I'm not trim. I can get a lot trimmer, and I'm going to for my 50th birthday for sure. But a sushi, depending on what you eat, like when you're actually talking about true sushi, like the fish is very lean, like a lot of protein in salmon and tuna. So as long as you're not eating too much rice, and I get it, there's a lot of like rice and udon and tempura, which is quite fattening. But if you're eating true sushi and sashimi and fish, then it's a really good source of lean protein. It really is. But thank you, Jason, for the kind words. How often would you watch BC Lions on TV or live? You know, before COVID, I would watch every game. I'd go to 2 or 3 a year and then make sure I watch every other game on TV. Now I just watch highlights. I'm really not as invested. I know Sushimura increased their prices from their... Yes, I saw that you went there, Justin. That's cool. I saw it on one of your socials. And yeah, they raised their prices about half a year ago. Yeah, it's quite expensive now, actually. Oh, 2 years for Abbotsford. Thank you, Chris. I didn't know that. So I don't know much about him. I've only seen the first 3 Indiana Jones movies back in the day, back when I was young. Taylor at Sushi Day. Nice, Taylor. Where'd you have it? What was something you wanted to do when you were a kid that you didn't do? Become famous? Dunk a basketball? No. Truly? Well, I guess I wanted to become an accountant. That didn't happen. Another thing that I wanted to do as a kid. Yeah, maybe even just be on a championship sports team of some sort. Scariest ride. Scariest was the Tilt-A-Whirl, not because it's scary as in threatening or fearful, but scary in that I threw up after it because I do not like spinny things. What's an upcoming movie that you're really looking for? None. I'm not a movie guy. I'll watch them when they come out on Netflix or streaming. Once in a while I'll go to the theater, but there's nothing that really caught my eye. Best summer memory. Oh, good question. A lot of my trips, Hawaii trips, Vegas trips, but it's got to be marrying Gail on July 8th, 2000. So our 23rd wedding anniversary is this Saturday. Is the grouse grind as hard as the inch? It depends. For people that are in good shape, it's not hard. For people who aren't in that great shape, it's pretty difficult. And for people who are not in shape at all, I'm sure it's very difficult. It's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. Vegas, Colorado, and Connor McDavid. Nice. Those are good shirts. I love rice. Awesome, Taylor. Kind of random, but oh no, we were talking about sushi. Sashimi is deal if you can eat sushi. Yep. What's your goal for losing weight? Harry, I wouldn't say so much by the end of this summer. I've lost 6 pounds in the past 2 weeks, which has been nice. It corresponded with me getting sick on my birthday week. But if I could lose 4 more pounds by the end of the summer, I'll be happy. And then I'm going to try and lose basically a pound a month up until my 50th birthday. That's my goal. And fish and meat. Sometimes I have fruits, but some veggies. Nice. Oh, TNT. I've never had TNT sushi, but I trust that it's good. Lucas, another donation. Thank you, legend. There's an old saying, if you can make it up the grind, you can throw away your crutches. That would make sense. By the way, before I tell you my bad joke, I'm going to tell you a really funny story about the grouse grind. Yeah, I'll do that in about 2 minutes or so, but let me just finish the last of the comments. Tips to deal with family members that are toxic and nothing but negative to you. Oh, man, Edmund, I don't want to rush this, but I don't have a lot of time to talk about this. I would say hold your head up, stay true to yourself, and if it's really bothering you, try and address it with them and tell them why it's bothering you. Andy, it's because I failed my exams. I wanted to become an accountant, but I failed my exams, and it's probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Edmonton elk shirt, that would be good. How expensive to get to P&E? That I don't know. You have to look it up, Fangirl. I don't know how expensive it is for the day. I don't know. Sushi's like Chinese food. Hungry again 15 minutes later. That's true. There are times where you either, you're hungry later, or if you go to all you can eat, you walk out of there saying, why did I do that? Blue Jay shirt. Big movies come out like Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning, Greta Gerwig. Okay, none of those sound exciting to me. Maybe Mission Impossible. I wouldn't do the gross drawing until you were training my body back into shape. Good, Taylor. Let's do it together. No, let's not. I mean, I'd love to meet you, Taylor, but you'd leave my butt behind probably by about half an hour. Oppenheimer looks incredible. Favorite memories for Kayla, Jacob, and Sean. Jacob probably winning provincial bowling championships and making Team Canada. Sean, Sean, this one's different because he's my firstborn, so that was pretty cool. And for Kayla, I think Kayla, there's not one particular memory, but just seeing just how quickly she's matured into a beautiful young woman. So 3 different. Jacob's was a point in time. Sean's was his birth, and Kayla is kind of more gradual. Hello, person. Where's a good place for all you can eat sushi? Well, there's no really good place because the whole point is it's kind of gross. But something like Shabu-sen is pretty good, where it's hot pot as well and Korean barbecue. Hello, average dude. We should do a meetup and do the grind. Yeah, it'll be the last meetup we ever do, I think. How neat is the gondola? I've seen photos. Yes, you could probably get on with the walker. You have to be careful getting on, but gondolas are beautiful. And wow, I've not seen this name in a while, but I'm so happy. Shout out to Brandon Hunt. Says, love your content. Excited for your lives next season. Even when we lose horribly, you always bring positivity to our sad Canucks lives. Now I'm very sad, Brandon. Keep it up. So, Brandon, thank you for the very generous donation. Let's give some love to Brandon in the chat. Much deserved. Brandon, let me know if you've been in here before. Your name seems familiar, but maybe you don't comment a lot. And yeah, it's not a shtick. I think it goes against the stream though to be so positive as a Canucks fan. But at the end of the day, I hate that saying. I can't believe I just said it. It's just a hockey team. And I always say, I choose to spend a lot of time, energy, and money on this team. That's my choice. I will never judge how much someone else spends in terms of time, energy, and money on the Canucks. But it's my choice. I love doing it. I love the community that I've built. I love hearing from all of you. We don't always agree on things, but we're at least able to talk about it civilly. I think I'm mature. I think you guys are mostly mature. I mean, you know what I mean? You guys are mature for the most part. And I really love what we're doing. And I think this is going to be a massive year for this channel and hopefully for the Canucks. But thank you, Brandon, for that very nice comment and for the very generous donation. Awesome. I've not been to Watermania this summer, although I'm next door to it all the time because I'm always at the bowling alley. Wow, look at you guys. Maybe I should just keep streaming because if you guys can keep doing this. Shout out to Ryan, $5 donation. Hello, Clay. Hope you're doing well. I love these streams. I really wish I could get in them more. Love the podcast and the community. Yeah, Ryan, I forgot. I didn't know if you saw it. This one's an hour earlier than usual. I usually do 11 o'clock, but I tried at 10 o'clock tonight just to see how it would go. But thank you for the kind words, Ryan, and thank you for the donation. By the way, I'm going to put it in the poll real quick, and don't worry, it's not binding, but I'm going to put it in the poll now that we tried it tonight. What's your preference? Is it 10 p.m. or is it 11 p.m.? Feel free to vote and poll. Thank you, Ryan, for that generous donation. Appreciate it. Are there any buffet places left in the Lower Mainland that's not sushi? Yeah, that's true. Uncle Willie's isn't around. Yeah, that's a good question. I think, don't some hotels and stuff still have like breakfast buffets and things like that? But yes, are there any buffets around in Lower Mainland? I would love to hear some other people answer that. I don't comment much, but I usually just sit back and listen. No problem. Brandon, you're welcome to do that. I kind of like you're very efficient with your donations, just like, or your comments, just one comment with a $20 donation. Boom. Just nail it. Whatever you want. I know I'm not calling you a lurker. Lurker has a connotation of creepy. I'm not saying that at all. But some people, I barely know you. Some people though like to lurk. They like to just kind of hang around in the background, and that is totally fine. Yes, Fangirl's birthday is the same as my wedding anniversary, which gives me Fangirl. I'm gonna send you a message. I have an idea for my Sunday stream because I won't be streaming on Saturday. 10 p.m. personally works better. Yes, I wear that for sure. I love it, Taylor. Hype, hype, hype for all. A lot of L's there. How did it feel doing 24-hour live stream? I loved it. I loved it. I loved it not because... No, I'll just say it. You guys trust me. I'm honest with you guys. I loved it because no one else had done it before. I loved it because I thought, quite frankly, it was unique. I was a pioneer that way. And I worked my butt off for it. You guys remember, I had about 14 of the 16 hours, 14 to 16 hours, I had guests and big guests. Dan Murphy, even though he had to cancel. I had Rick Dollywall. I had James Duthie. And I had a lot of content creators as well. I had Marie do a concert. I had my family members. We had contests, concert. It sounds like I'm bragging, but you're asking me for my honest opinion. I thought it was great. I thought, and my channel grew a lot because of it. But it was just something unique, something different. And I was very proud that I was able to pull it off. Not that I'm going to do it again, but we'll see. For summer, it should be like how it was last year at 10. Is that what it was? Last summer? Oh, that makes sense. I only switched to 11 when the season started, right? Coach says 10:30, split the difference. I've never eaten at the Red Wagon Diner. 10 p.m. is good. Indian buffets. Okay, that's good to know. That is not my my specialty. No problem. Actually, I didn't do a post. Did I do a post? I don't think I did a post, LA Women's Hoops. But glad you're here. Sunday, Lions game, Canada, U.S. Soccer. Start at the same time. Oh, wow. Did not know that. When Petey gets a new contract, I think it'll be like Kachuk and get the C for signing long term. Yeah, I'm not sure if his new contract and the C are going to be related, but we'll see. Harry's said 24 days until his birthday. Awesome. You're going to... Hey, Tyler, I wonder if we're going to be at the same wedding. What wedding are you going to? I'll be at a wedding on Saturday as well. Average due 10 p.m. Spreading the same positivity you do. For the happiness you give to many, you deserve the same back from us and the whole hockey community. That's awesome, Brandon. Thank you. I really appreciate the thoughtful messages. Hendrix Alvarez. I know that name. Is that who you are, Tech Boy? All right, now everyone's dropping their birthdays in the chat, which is fine. What's my favorite thing to do in my free time? A few things. Go to Canucks games, not in any particular order. Go to Canucks games and create content. I love exercising. Not so much like working out. I love doing sports like volleyball, basketball, bowling, spike ball, golfing. I love being active for sure, even walking. I love playing music. I love napping. I love hanging out with family. I think I said that already. Did I say napping? I love eating sushi. All right, 258 days to your birthday. Now, okay, this is getting a little ridiculous. Soccer, hockey, or football to watch, hockey to play, hockey. Go to Kegs all the time. The Keg all the time. I've been to Browns once. Keg, I have a 20% off card, which is pretty awesome because the general manager of the Richmond location is a big Canucks fan, so he treats me very well when I go there, which is good. 67 days. Okay, no, we're not going the same wedding, Tyler. Ryan, when's your wedding? I'll try and make it out there. Canadian Jock, the Canucks will win the cup by 2030. No, they won't. That's my hope. Got to be optimistic, right? Yes, I recognize both of you, Tech Boy and Average Dude. Napping. Future collab coming up with the hockey guy. I do. I like Shannon a lot. He's been on my show a couple times. Oh, no, at least once. He's never asked me to be on his, but that's fine. But yeah, I do like him. Oh, LeBerg, so funny. That's how I started off the stream. Is I talked for about 3 to 4 minutes about Threads. I'll say very quickly, I likely not, or I'm in no rush to. And if I do join Threads, it'll be for very similar to my Instagram in that it's non-Canucks content. It'll be my family, my faith, my ministry, my traveling, that kind of thing. Because I want to keep my Canucks tailored to Twitter and YouTube. And I want to keep when I say personal life, it just means non-Canuck stuff to kind of Instagram and Threads by extension if I do it, but I haven't signed up just yet. Oh, November 25th, 2024. Okay, you're planning ahead, which is good. Any new music collab with Marie? No plans just yet. Oh, 2023. So you're off by a year. No problem, LeBerg. Okay, let's end off here, but I promise I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you one funny story about the grouse grind. Then I'll do my wrap up, and then we'll end off the stream. By the way, 65% of you saying that you prefer 10 p.m. So maybe that's what I'll try for the summer if my schedule allows. Yeah, but 10 p.m. simply won't work for the season because Canucks games will end around 9:30, 9:40. It'd be nice to do a stream right at 10, but I already know Monday night's Canucks After Dark. Tuesday night, I'll be rushing back from bowling. Wednesday night, I'll be rushing back from church. Yeah, I think 10 p.m. will just be a little bit more too hectic for me, but we'll see. We'll see as we get closer. Hey, Carol, nice to see you. Okay, here's my grouse grind story. So when I was back at the accounting firm, PricewaterhouseCoopers, I was the assistant to the HR director. And then his name's Dwayne. He called me from offsite one day and says, hey, Clay, can you see if I have any appointments on Friday morning? And then I looked at his calendar and I said, Dwayne, this is really gross. And he says, why? And I said, well, you have from like 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., you have a 2-hour block where it says grind with Tony. And of course, I knew it was grouse grind because I knew that Dwayne was quite active. Actually, a sad story. He actually passed away from a heart attack a few years ago, which is really sad, actually. So even though I'm telling a funny story about Dwayne, it's quite sad. But in this particular time, he said, what am I doing on Friday morning? I said, it's pretty gross. You have 2 hours to grind with Tony. And then I just, because I'm very mature that way, I would say that that's really gross. And then I knew it was gross grind. Anyways, that's my gross grind story. Carol, going to give you some love for gifting a membership, even though I feel bad I'm wrapping up in the next 2 minutes. So Carol gifts a membership, which is the same as a $5 donation, and it goes to Ryan Ross, which is awesome. Welcome to membership, Ryan. Mr. Tech Boy, I have no clue what you're talking about, but generally we don't do word puzzles and stuff like that. Well, we do, but that's not until Sunday's stream. Okay, I think we're about done. So I want to thank everyone for being here. Moderators, thank you for doing what you need to do. Didn't seem too busy, which is great. Thank you, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Carol Bovenlander, legendary Andrew Chang, all who are here for different parts of the night. And I want to thank Lucas for his donations, Brandon for that massive donation, Ryan for his donation, and to Carol for gifting a membership as well. Really appreciate all of your generosity. And I appreciate all of you for watching. Always appreciate you. Never take you for granted. So on your way out, subscribe, like the video. You can leave a late donation, become a member, upgrade your membership, or gift a membership. Once again, thanks to everyone who is so generous today. If you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. Whoa, before I go, Ryan, that's what you call paying it forward. And Ryan gifts a member. He just became a... By the way, can you only gift membership if you're a member yourself? I think that's right? You can only gift a membership if you're a member yourself. But Ryan became a member, and look what he does. Ryan gifts a membership. So that is probably the fastest turnaround time I've ever seen. So Ryan, thank you for your generosity. And Harry, for multiple time, is now a franchise member once again. So welcome, Harry. And thank you, Ryan, for your generosity as well. Only members can gift membership. Okay, that's good to know. Well, I appreciate it. Ryan, thank you for doing that. And Carol, thank you you had a hand in that because you're the one who gifted Ryan his membership. So as I was saying, podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. And thank you to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate and Perform and Transform Personal Training and Weight Loss. So tomorrow will not be streaming because it's Friday. I'm going to take my lovely bride out for our anniversary dinner one night early. So we are going to Kobe Steakhouse downtown, our favorite restaurant. Saturday is our actual wedding anniversary, and it's Fangirl's birthday. So happy birthday in advance, Fangirl. As for Gail and me, we'll be at a wedding and a reception. Then Sunday, I'll be at home studying, starting to prepare for Peru a little bit. And then we'll have a stream at 10:30 on Sunday night as usual. Now it is indeed time to go. So thanks everyone for being here. And as Taylor says, good night all. Hope you have a great rest of your night. Ditto to you and to everyone in here. So as always, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. By the way, speaking of restaurants, one of the restaurants we were contemplating before we decided on Kobe for tomorrow night, it's a brand new restaurant, and it's called Karma. But at Karma, there's no menu. You just get what you deserve. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.